Stories are fiction becoming reality. My name is Osademebi, and every week I will tell you a short story written by a Nigerian writer or author. That's the long and short of it. So without much ado, this week's story is by Teniola Soyebo, and it's titled Learn to Fly. Waking up with the ache in my neck is always followed by the self-rebuke I have grown accustomed to. Never fly horizontally. How the hell am I back in this situation after several days off to cure the previous ache, only to wind up back with an even worse neck ache? I blame all those Superman comics and movies for making me believe the normal way to fly was lying flat once I was in the air. And the bugs that get in my eye and mouth when I have to take flight on short notice. I once considered going around with goggles, but I figured that would draw suspicion. Who goes around this city holding goggles? I have tried to remind myself to move forward vertically, like the Magneto guy in the X-Men movies used to do. I tried it for a while. It made me look graceful in the news when I caught updates. Like the time I foiled that kidnapping a few months back. I had no idea there were cameras recording. But after demobilizing the car and disarming the 3 kidnappers from afar with telekinesis, I can do that too. I really could not be bothered. I was on my way to buy shawarma when I got wind of the kidnapping. I levitated to check if the shop was still open. Anyway, the news keeps calling me a superhero or some kind of alien. If only they knew that I had no idea where these abilities came from, or that I really did not want to have to deal with them. Like, what in the world does a guy like me, who is only interested in watching anime by himself all day, do with special abilities like super strength, telepathy, psionic blasts, flight, telekinesis, and whatever else I have not even discovered? I have not been in a fight before, so I don't know if I am invulnerable. I am too scared to test myself to find out. And no, I don't have friends like the characters in the shows and movies have, so I'm not even sharing my secrets with anyone. As it is, I fear that my security guard knows. He has been looking at me funny and snooping around since I discovered my powers. I really am not sure I care. To be fair though, my first psionic blast took out his antenna. Back to the foiled kidnapping. I managed to wear a baseball cap and tie a scarf around the lower part of my face because it happened close to my flat. And the last place I needed people knowing I had developed superhuman abilities was in my neighborhood. The 3 kidnappers were more stunned to see their guns being pulled into mid-air by an unseen force than them realizing I was levitating in front of them. It seems they had so much faith in those guns. But I was not going to take any chances. Dispatching them was too easy because I don't believe that they had fully recovered from the initial shock by the time I had tied them up with wires. I took off before the poor girl I rescued could reach out to me, but I heard her scream an emphatic, "Thank you," as I flew further away. I live in a congested city of over 18 million people. How the hell am I going to find an isolated place to understand the full extent of these powers. Wait, Clark Kent had his fortress of solitude. I'm seriously thinking about this. Hell no. How do I fly all the way to somewhere like the North Pole? I never even studied science in school. I'm just a copywriter who watches anime, who enjoys staying by himself in Yaba. Some of the touts I see on my way to work look like they have superpowers already. I don't need this added complication. I can't fly facing down, that's for sure. I cannot practice in the serene locales of Ebutemeta or Onigbo. So, I searched Google Maps in the afternoon to check out favorable locales I could attempt to fly to. At least, that way, I will figure out how fast I can fly, as long as it's not too far. I pulled up the pictures of the Mambila Plateau. Sick. I started to think about what it would be like flying over there. How high I would have to fly to avoid being detected or running into any passenger planes. I wondered what my destination would feel like. Would I have to wear thick clothing so I didn't catch a cold on the flight to or from Mambila? I soon started to feel sleepy, so I figured I would take a nap. I lie down on the living room couch, and the pictures I looked at on my computer screen keep playing in my head as I doze off. I am imagining the rolling hills covered in greens. I wonder if I will run into anyone. Now, I'm startled awake by something moving around me. I'm reaching for my phone as I become aware of the movement. Thieves broke in? I usually don't get unannounced visitors. I smell grass as I open my eyes. My head is not resting on anything I would call soft. There is dampness to the surface beneath me. No phone. As I sit up, I see sheep all around me. They are trying so hard to focus on the grass that is their nourishment, but my sudden movement has forced them to disperse. I am outside. Morning dew and a light fog fill the air. But I can see the shepherd walking towards me, speaking what I quickly assume is Hausa, even though I don't understand a word in Hausa besides Aboki. But I don't even say that. All I scream out loud is, "Fuck! I can't teleport!" Teniola Soyebo is an aspiring writer from Ikeneremo, Ogun State. He was raised in Lagos on 90s afternoon kiddies cartoons, Marvel and DC comic books, and many Robert Ludlum novels. With a degree in geology and work experience which spans entertainment, marketing, and entrepreneurship, he resides in Abuja but divides his time between the FCT and Lagos. An avid sci-fi fan, he hopes to one day write a thrilling and well-received novel of his own. You can follow him on X at Griffin Streaks and find more of his work on Medium at Teniola and on Substack at Are You Reading This? Details and links will be in the episode description. If you've got a story you would like to be featured on this podcast, or a published book you want to make into an audiobook, I would love to hear from you. Send an email to info@osadumebi.com or send me a message at Osadumebi on either Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, or X. I look forward to collaborating with you. And if you've enjoyed this week's episode, please subscribe. leave a review, and share this episode with that one person you know will enjoy listening. Tell them that stories are a good escape for a few minutes each week.